Now, I've often said that the BMW GS has the best TFT on board that money can buy on a motorcycle. It's not just the GS, but other BMWs as well. BMW seem to absolutely nail the TFT, which is great, and I stand by that statement. However, the sat-navs that go with it, that go into the cradle above, tend to have a little bit to be desired, and the current offering is very, very expensive as well. So what I did in the past was had a third-party system plugged on here. I've now got an even better one, which I'll tell you about in a minute, and also I've done a little tweak to the TFT itself that I think makes the display itself absolutely top-notch. It's sort of almost like a secret hack. Anyway, stick around, stay tuned. I'll show you how you can optimise the displays on your BMW GS. Hey kids, it's Mr. Fly here, hope you're well, and welcome back to the Mr. Man Cave, my garage. And I wanted to show you a couple of tweaks that I've done to optimise the displays on my BMW GS today. And the thing is, these tweaks don't just apply to the 1250 GS that I've got, but also the R1300 GSs, the current ones as well, and possibly also some of the later 1200 GSs that have the TFTs. I don't know for sure about that, but they probably will work. Anyway, without further ado, let me tell you about them. Right, here we go then. This is my new optimised display setup, if you like. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was this top display here. This is what I've replaced my BMW Navigator with. This is a new Apple CarPlay screen, actually. It's from a company called CarPlay for Motorcycles, CPMC. And you may remember I had a previous device on the GS. I had a device that was similar, but from Chigee. It was the Chigee AI05, which was perfectly good, but it's a little bit smaller than this and a lot more expensive. The Chigee was something like 470 quid. This one I can get you, and I'll give you details as to how, for 170 quid, and it does all the same things as the Chigee, but is a little bit bigger, and therefore with my aging eyes is easier to see. So, and I absolutely love it, because the beauty of this is it plugs straight into the cradle on the BMW GS. It's integrated with the whiz wheel, so you can control it on the whiz wheel if you want to. You can use it with the gloved hands as well. I'll show you this on the bike using it in a minute. And you don't have to worry about installation, because it literally plugs into the cradle, as I say, so it's dead easy to do. So if you want one of these, and I thoroughly recommend them, I've been using this now for about a month, then check the link below. I'll put it's actually an affiliate link, full disclosure, so if you click on that I'll get you a 22% discount on this, which does bring that price right down, as I say. So yeah, absolute bargain that is, and I'll show you it operating in a minute. The other thing I wanted to show you was below that on my TFT, you may notice I've got a slightly unusual display. This is what's known as the Sports Screen. Let me just bring it a bit closer, there we go. And that's what you'd normally see on BMW sports bikes like the S1000RR and so on. It's not a standard screen on the BMW GS, but there's a little hack that you can do that allows you to get that on your GS if you have the little gadget, the GS911 from Hex. That's the little gadget that allows you to do maintenance and so on your bike and read error codes and so on. They've updated that now, and it means you can add yourself the Sports Screen as well. So that's another thing that I want to show you in operation. So let me get togged up, we'll jump on the bike, and I'll talk some more about these two additions that I've done to my bike.
Okay folks, so welcome aboard the mighty GS 1250. Absolutely love this bike. Any excuse to come out for a ride, really. And here we are. This is the setup. What I'm saying is the optimal screen setup. I'm hoping you can see this on the helmet cam all right. I think these two just complement each other just right. So that new CarPlay for motorcycle screen, the CPMC Apple CarPlay screen, I think just is a nice size to complement the TFT. And here's the TFT with the new sports display screen on it, and it shows you things like your brake pressure on the right. I'll brake here as I come to the, can you see that? There you go, it shows you brake pressure. It resets every time you stop the bike, by the way. Shows you things like your lean angle in the bottom there. Look, I've done 24 degrees to the left and 14 to the right so far, not much. As well as your traction control settings and things like that. There's all sorts of stuff that gives you extra on the sports screen. And the beauty of it is, you know, it doesn't mean you haven't got the normal screen, so I can just hit my menu button in the usual way and go back across, and bingo, there we go, there's the normal non-sport screen, if you like. So it's still there. That's the beauty about this this mod. You know, you don't lose anything, you just gain stuff. And indeed, if you want to get rid of the sports screen altogether, you can do, and you know, not see it again. You just have to plug the GS911 in again and do it. But I won't go through all the details of how you do that, because as I say, it's been covered in a video on Bennett's Bike Social, so go and check that out. And then the CarPlay screen is just super clear, as you can see. It's it works for my eyes perfectly, and you know, I mainly use it for maps. So you can use obviously Google Maps. This is the Apple Maps app that I just pressed on there. You can use it for you know, Waze, whatever your favourite nav system is, you can do it on there. And of course you've got access to WhatsApp and your messages and all the other stuff, your phone, everything else that you could do on Apple CarPlay, and it works, as you can see, perfectly fine with a gloved hand. Or indeed you can use the whiz wheel if you want to. It doesn't just do Apple CarPlay, of course, there are other screens available. If I just hit the button so I can control the nav, there we go. There's like a setting screen there. I'm doing this with the whiz wheel now. There's like an additional dash display there if you like. There's sort of a representation, it's almost a duplicate of the BMW screen. Which is rather fun. What else have we got? Here we go, we got some of the settings that it can access. So for example, the tyre pressure monitoring is working here. Looks like I've got 34 psi and 40 psi. Perhaps I need to give them a little bit of a pump up by the looks of it. What gear I'm in, speed I'm doing, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, there's loads of features and functions. Here's the tyre pressure monitoring. Look, you can set the parameters of that. There's all sorts on there, as well as your standard Apple CarPlay, or indeed Android also, if that's the way you want to go. So yeah, easy to use, very intuitive. I've not read any manuals or anything. And it just starts, you know, when you turn the bike on, everything just fires up, it just connects with my phone. Dead easy. It's an absolutely cracking day to be out on the bike. Look, 27 degrees. Crazy. Blimey, it's all happening out here today.
One last thing I forgot to say was, if you do buy this screen, it comes in two flavours. There's one which comes with tyre pressure monitoring system, little screw-on tyre pressure monitoring things that obviously gives you the top tyre pressure on there. You don't need to buy those, or that version, if you've got a GS that already has tyre pressure monitoring on it, because it will talk to the OEM tyre pressure monitors. So that's what I've done. So I've gone for the cheapest possible option, and it just picks up the tyre pressure readings from the sensors that are already on the bike. So it works for the OEM one, so that's great. So yeah, if you want the 170 quid-ish option, then go for the non-TPMS one. Hope I've made sense there. So there we go. That's what I believe is the optimal BMW GS display of the moment. Anyway, for me, I found this setup absolutely brilliant. The Sports Screen, of course, is a freebie if you've already got the GS 911 and have updated it with the recent firmware. That's great fun. Go and check out John Milbank's video on Bike Social, Bennett's Bike Social, if you want the full details on how to get yourself that. But as I say, if you haven't already got the GS 911, you'll have to pay for that, and it's quite expensive. If you want to get yourself one of these screens, don't forget I've put a link below. It is an affiliate link, so full disclosure, I get a little bit of a kickback if you click on that link and you subsequently buy it, but it doesn't cost you anything more, and you get the 22% discount, bringing this down to, as I say, around about 170 quid. So yeah, I hope that was of some interest to you. Look forward to speaking to you again soon. Until then, this has been the Mr. Fly. Cheerio.